At the beginning of the story, we see a gang of clever thieves planning to rob a bank that is considered one of the safest places in the world. Actually, this bank, located in Spain, is sitting on a 500-year-old priceless treasure buried deep in its deepest vault. Because of this, big criminals have had their eyes on this bank for years, but the security arrangements here are next level. If even a slight suspicious activity is seen around the bank, 15 heavily armed guards get ready for firing in the blink of an eye. To monitor the entire area, advanced cameras have been installed that can easily detect even the slightest sound of human footsteps. And the biggest trouble is the underground vault of this bank. Built in the 19th century, the design and mechanism of this safe remain an unsolved mystery even for the biggest criminals of today's era. And right now, these people are busy trying to solve this mystery. First, meet Walter, who runs an agency in Britain that discovers ancient and historical things from the depths of the ocean. Once during a deep-water research project, Walter and his expert team find a sunken British ship from the year 1645. During this mission, a professional diver named James finds a very old box under the water, inside of which 3 rare ancient gold coins are kept. A huge mystery is hidden behind these 3 coins, and knowing it would spark greed in any human being. But before Walter and his companions could celebrate their big success, Spanish Navy warships surrounded their entire ship from all sides. The Spanish Navy officer claimed that Walter's team had violated their marine border to extract this treasure. Immediately after this, the Spanish Navy seized all of Walter's team's valuable property. The box containing those priceless coins was also seized by the government there and locked directly in the underground vault of that super-safe bank. Walter could not tolerate this ruin of his years of hard work. His team had put their lives on the line to extract that treasure from the sea, which the Navy snatched away without any effort. And now, to take revenge, he is preparing a master plan to break into that bank and steal back his 3 coins. Walter could not do this difficult job alone, so he brought a genius student from his own country, Tom, onto his side. Tom possesses an extraordinary mindset at a very young age. Tom was still finishing his studies at the university, but seeing his capability, many big tech companies were offering him high-paying jobs even without a degree. There was a promise of a salary of about $400,000 every month and excellent facilities. However, Tom did not want to work within the corporate rules and restrictions of any company. And this is where he met Walter. Walter places a big proposal in front of Tom saying, "I want you to lead our team in cracking the security of the world's most advanced and safe bank, so that I can bring back my priceless treasure which I myself extracted from the deep sea." Hearing this, Tom gets completely shocked and asks, "Do you really think I am a professional criminal?" Walter smiles slightly and says, "Before this secret meeting, I gathered all the information about your background and your amazing IQ." Walter goes on to say, "We don't want you to commit any theft. Just guide our team with your intelligence to understand the working system and entire layout of that complicated vault." Tom is still in a dilemma and asks, "But how are you so confident that I will be ready for this illegal work?" Then Walter plays his biggest card. "If this mission is successful, you will get such a big share that your next several generations will live a life of luxury without doing anything." Saying this, he leaves a plane ticket to Spain on the table and walks away. Returning home, Tom investigates the Bank of Spain on the internet and finds out that its vault is the most complicated vault in the world, which no one has been able to break into to this day. Seeing this challenge, Tom's interest grows even more, and he decides to go with Walter. The next day, he calls his father to inform him and then catches a flight to arrive at Madrid airport. There he meets Lorraine. Lorraine was Walter's clever agent who changed her identity for every mission. Lorraine takes him to a tall building right in front of the Bank of Spain, where Walter welcomes him and explains that the entire operation will be controlled from here. There, Tom meets a computer hacker named Klaus. Walter mentions that James will lead the entire mission. Just then, a man named Simon enters, whose specialty is that he can find anything in a split second. Walter hands over the responsibility of cracking the bank's main vault directly to Tom. Hearing this, James gets furious because he argues that Tom has no experience in such dangerous work. Walter ignores his words and asks Klaus for an update on the mission. Klaus explains that the bank's entire telephone system has been hacked, but a secret password is required to enter the internal system. Trying to bypass it by entering random numbers would require trying more than 1 billion combinations, which was impossible. Then Tom gives an idea. Call the bank staff who are currently on leave from an official bank number and introduce yourself as an agent of the Bank of Spain's customer care or voicemail service. Then tell them that an urgent message has arrived in their account, and to hear it, please enter your secret password after the beep. Initially, the rest of the team members feel that this is a very childish idea. But the surprising thing is that Tom's social engineering trick works 100%. With the help of this simple trick, Klaus gets access to the live footage of some very important cameras installed inside the bank. Although this was not a very sophisticated technique, doing this job was impossible for people who didn't know the game. Walter thanks Tom, and Lorraine is also quite impressed by his sharp mind. After this first big success, Walter reveals the real secret of those 3 old gold coins to Tom. This mysterious story is connected to a 16th century British pirate, who looted a treasure worth billions from a Spanish royal ship and hid it on some unknown island. But to this day, no explorer or government in the world has been able to find out exactly where that treasure is buried. About 30 years ago, Walter bought a very old secret letter in which some hints related to the location of that treasure were written. Later, through years of research, it becomes clear that the exact location of that treasure and its coordinates are written with very fine engraving on those same 3 gold coins. Walter had risked many years of his life amidst the sea waves to find those precious coins. But unfortunately, those same coins are now locked in the vault of the world's most secure bank under the possession of the Spanish government. Walter promises his team that if this heist is successful, every single part of the treasure will be divided equally among everyone. He also assures Tom that if for some reason they are unsuccessful, he will still be paid a large amount in return for his hard work and valuable time. After a long brainstorming session, the entire team comes together to prepare the first foolproof blueprint to enter the bank. According to the plan, first, they pose as bank staff to call an industrial cleaning company and give them false information that a technical fault has occurred in the bank's alarm system, due to which cleaning work is being suspended for a few days. Immediately after this, Simon and Tom, posing as fake employees of that same cleaning company, arrive directly at the bank's main gate. Both of them perform their acting so perfectly that the security guards deployed there do not have even a bit of doubt. They clear the security check very easily and enter the bank's internal area. On the other hand, the clever Lorraine takes the form of an art expert who examines expensive and rare paintings. She has come to show the bank administration whether any damage has been caused to the historical artifacts kept there. She meets the chief security officer, Gustavo, with full confidence. Gustavo does not doubt her even for a bit because Lorraine has amazing knowledge of paintings and the art world. During this conversation, Lorraine very smartly hands her bubble tea cup to Gustavo so that she can secretly collect his fingerprints. On the other side, Klaus, sitting at his secret base, is closely tracking every movement of his companions inside the bank through CCTV cameras. He immediately sends a secret signal to Simon to enter the bank's VIP technical room without coming into anyone's sight. Simon goes there without wasting any time and attaches a spy gadget he brought with him to the main signal port there. With this master stroke, Klaus gets access to the bank's entire security grid. Meanwhile, a security guard takes Lorraine directly to the bank president's cabin, where she has to re-examine some valuable paintings. As soon as the guard leaves, Lorraine pulls out her special electronic tool in the blink of an eye and starts scanning the painting rapidly. Klaus takes a very big risk during this time. He slows down the speed of the live footage from the cameras and edits it in such a way that the monitors sitting in the control room think Lorraine is still quietly inspecting the painting. But the reality was that Lorraine was looking for the secret hiding place of the vault's main key in that cabin. With an advanced 3D scanner device, she prepared a digital clone identical to that key. She is just about to finish making the copy of the first key when suddenly the door of the room opens and the bank president himself barges inside. The sudden arrival of the bank president makes the danger very big because the time of the slow-motion video loop that Klaus had set on the cameras was now about to end. If the security team understood the difference between the real live feed and the altered footage, their entire heist would have been ruined at that very moment. But even in this difficult hour, Lorraine shows amazing presence of mind. She says very politely to the bank president, "Sir, please step aside a little so that I can take a perfect photo of this artwork." He steps back without any suspicion, and Lorraine averts this big danger with her quick wit. In a little while, the bank president leaves the cabin, giving Lorraine the opportunity to finish the rest of her work. Without wasting a single moment, Lorraine swiftly scans the second key as well, which was very cleverly hidden behind another valuable painting. At this exact time, Tom had been assigned a highly dangerous task. He had to go to the bank's main meeting room and, hiding under the table, use his advanced scanner to prepare a map of the entire structure and layout of the mysterious vault built underneath. But look at the bad luck. Just then, a team of some big bank officials suddenly comes into that same room for a meeting. Now Tom has no choice but to hold his breath and quietly huddle under the table. Just then, some important files slip from the hand of a staff member sitting there and fall straight onto the floor. As that person starts to lean down to pick them up, Tom's life hangs by a thread. But right at that delicate turning point, suddenly an alarm echoes throughout the bank. Hearing that loud siren, all the officials leave the meeting and immediately run outside. Tom's luck fully supports him here, and he escapes by a hair's breadth. Actually, it was due to the electromagnetic waves coming out of Tom's scanning machine that the bank's alarm system had gotten activated. As soon as the alarm rings, Marine commandos and security guards from the military headquarters built right in front of the bank immediately go into action mode. They cordon off the entire bank from all sides in a split second. Gustavo immediately passes an order that no human being will step out of the bank premises until the investigation is complete. On the other hand, Lorraine had made the digital clone of the second key, but due to restrictions, she doesn't get a chance to put it back in its place. Just then, the bank president comes there and tells Lorraine to walk out with him immediately for security reasons. With this sudden trouble, the entire team panics. Everyone at their secret base was worried about how to handle this situation. Then Tom himself comes forward. He says that risking his own life, he will catch that key falling from Lorraine's hand in midair and fit it back into the vault's secret spot. Tom shows amazing agility and catches that key in midair before it hits the ground, making no sound. But as soon as Tom sets that key back into its place, suddenly a security guard comes into that room. Seeing Tom there, she asks in a sharp voice, "What are you doing in this restricted area?" Tom immediately makes an innocent face and putting his hands over his ears says, "Oh, sorry ma'am. Actually, I had headphones on and was listening to music at a loud volume. Because of this, I didn't hear the alarm siren." The guard shouts at him saying, "Stop making excuses and get out of here immediately." On the other side, Gustavo, sitting in the control room, noticed closely that the alarm signal had come straight from the main vault area. Without delay, he sends armed soldiers down to the cellar. But even after a lot of searching there, they do not see any suspicious thing or human being. Finally, due to not finding any solid proof, Gustavo is forced to make the decision to let everyone leave the bank. After returning safely from this risky job, when the entire team closely examines the data stolen from the bank, Tom proves his amazing intelligence once again. He notices that the scanner could not make a clear structure of a specific part of the vault. He immediately understands that water is present at that place. Actually, right above that secret vault, a very large tank of water is present. The master engineers of the 19th century made such an infallible trap for the security of this locker that if any intruder steps inside without permission, all the valves of the main pipeline open automatically. In no time, that entire part gets filled with water, due to which the thief gets stuck right there and loses his life. Through his discovery, Tom also finds out that today's motion detection technology was not present in that old door, but in its place, they had fitted a very sensitive scale beneath the floor. As soon as even 1 gram of extra weight falls on the floor of the vault beyond the set limit, that entire system gets activated by itself, and the water trap starts. Now the biggest challenge in front of the team is how to cross the vault without disturbing that sensitive scale. Meanwhile, after that incident of the alarm ringing in the bank, when the security forces find no clue, the bank president scolds Gustavo very badly. During that time, the enthusiasm for the Football World Cup is at its peak throughout the country, and a huge crowd of thousands of fans gathers at the square built right outside the bank to boost the morale of Spain's team. The bank president's advisors come to Gustavo's defense, saying that perhaps the cause of the alarm ringing could be the electromagnetic effect of the big power generators and the large screens showing the match outside. Meanwhile, James and Simon managed to reach the basement of that big scale by using the secret paths of the underground sewer. As Tom had guessed earlier, that mechanical system is truly an unmatched example of old engineering. But now another new trouble comes and stands in front of them. To dig a tunnel from the path below to that secret vault, they need a time of at least 15 days. If they do drilling rapidly using machines, the bank's security team will alert immediately due to its loud sound. They want to take advantage of this cheerful atmosphere of the World Cup at all costs, when the entire public and police present outside are immersed in the thrill of the match. But the problem is that the final match is going to happen just 8 days from now. Hearing this, Walter gets completely disappointed and makes up his mind to stop the mission right here. The rest of the people in the team also start losing hope. But often, big troubles give birth to the most brilliant paths. One evening, Walter goes to the roof of a tall building right in front of the bank. Looking at the view below from there, he notices that whenever Spain's team scores a goal during the football match and the crowd standing below screams with joy, the bank's motion detection cameras turn towards that noise automatically. This clearly means that instead of going from below, they can enter inside from above via the bank's roof. But this entire dangerous plan rests on the victory of Spain's football team. And look at luck. Spain's team, showing excellent play, wins the semi-final and reaches straight into the final. Now, making the path to reach the vault safe is all that remains for the team. Meanwhile, one day while handling duty in the control room, some part of a conversation between cleaning workers falls on Gustavo's ears. They are talking among themselves that a few days ago, a call had come from the bank side to stop the cleaning work because there was some fault in the system. Hearing this, Gustavo gets a shock, and he immediately remembers that on that day, 2 new cleaning workers had come inside the bank. Without wasting any time, he starts rummaging through the records of old cameras, where he finds clear pictures of Tom and Simon. But those two have no past criminal record, so the bank's facial recognition system fails to state their identity. Now Gustavo has become more alert than ever before. He doubles the number of security guards inside the bank and gets new hidden cameras installed in every corner of the premises. On the other hand, Tom has not slept for many nights to make this mission successful. He is engaged day and night in finding the solution to the difficult problem of that big scale with full dedication. Finally, virtue of his brilliant mind, Tom finds a very unique way out. He advises the team that they will use liquid nitrogen gas to freeze that old scale, because extremely cold nitrogen gas freezes any strong metal in just a few seconds and brings it completely to zero. According to Tom's calculation, to completely freeze that huge system, a minimum of 500 kilograms of nitrogen gas is needed, and the responsibility for this risky task is on Simon's shoulders. All the members of the team express their agreement on this plan of Tom's, and the final countdown of the mission begins. First of all, they prepare an identical fake clone from Gustavo's stolen fingerprints. After this, duplicate copies of both keys are also made to unlock the main doors of the vault. Meanwhile, Walter secretly gets 3 fake gold coins prepared as well. What game these fake coins are going to show ahead, you will find out at the end of the story. Finally, that day arrives when the final match of the Football World Cup is to be played between the teams of Spain and the Netherlands. Under the guise of this match, the most sensational robbery in the country's history is going to be executed. Outside in the main square, a wild crowd of millions has gathered in front of big screens to boost the morale of their team. Every single member of the team is fully deployed at their respective positions. Tom, Lorraine, and James slide down onto the bank's roof using ropes from the roof of the building right in front of the bank. Cutting the glass with a special cutter, they quietly descend into the main lobby via ropes. Klaus is keeping a sharp eye on every single movement of the security guards from his hiding place and is sending them secret signals to move forward at the right time. Because of his accurate guidance, those 3 move forward, dodging security without coming into anyone's sight, after which they advance towards the main vault through the narrow paths of the ventilation duct. Even amidst the thrill of this final match, Gustavo's eyes are not budging from their place. He fully suspects that clever thieves will definitely try to take advantage of this golden opportunity, so he himself is watching every single movement closely on the screens of the control room. As soon as they came out from the mouth of the ventilation duct, the ground slipped from beneath the feet of all 3 because in front of them, between 2 walls, is a terrifyingly deep chasm. Those 3 open the portable ladder brought with them and connect both walls together. James climbs onto that ladder last, but as soon as he reaches midway, the ladder suddenly starts sliding downwards. Seeing death in front of him, James jumps forward with full force. At that exact delicate moment, Tom holds his hand firmly in mid-air, and James's life is saved. On the other side, Klaus hacks the system and opens the first security door, after which another very heavy steel door comes in front of them. To open this, it is necessary to use Gustavo's fake fingerprint and both duplicate keys simultaneously in the exact same second. Without the coordination of the 3 companions, opening this door is completely impossible. Luckily, that combination of fingerprints and keys sits perfectly, and finally, that last door of the bank also opens in front of them. Now right in front of them is that floor beneath which that sensitive scale is installed. As soon as Simon, deployed in the underground sewer, gets Tom's signal, he starts releasing a large amount of nitrogen gas onto the main base of that scale without delay. The 3 people standing above in the vault are holding their breath, waiting for that mechanism to freeze. In just a few moments, due to extreme cold, that scale freezes completely and becomes stable at one place. Tom shows courage first and steps onto that floor. When everything seems safe, the remaining two also enter inside and start searching for that old box containing the 3 gold coins. During this time, Gustavo sees on the screen that some important sensors of the main lobby have suddenly turned off. He immediately sends the security team there, who find that hole made in the roof. Gustavo understands in a split second that thieves have entered inside the bank, and he immediately orders the blockade of the entire bank by calling the army. Meanwhile, another trouble arrives inside the vault. The effect of the nitrogen gas released in the basement below has now started decreasing gradually, and that scale is on the verge of getting activated again. Just then, Lorraine's eyes fall on that cupboard, and she finds that old box. But as soon as Lorraine takes that box in her hand, James suddenly pulls out a gun from his pocket and aims it at the chests of both of them. He tells Lorraine in a cold tone to hand over that box to him. Actually, James is a secret agent of the British government who is on a mission to take that historical treasure back to his country. In this tussle, that scale gets fully active. Sensing the danger, Lorraine immediately tosses that box towards James and, holding Tom's hand, tries to run outside. But by then it is too late. The heavy steel door of the vault closes at full speed, and those 3 get imprisoned in that dark dungeon. A terrifying flow of water starts from the main pipe installed in the walls, and that vault rapidly starts turning into a swimming pool. Outside, army soldiers have also entered the corridors of the bank. The water level inside the vault is increasing so fast that in just a few minutes, even breathing there is going to be difficult. James is a professional diver and had anticipated this situation beforehand, so he brought some special diving equipment with him. Remaining completely calm, he descends into the depths of the water and advances towards getting out via the drainage pipe built below. But Lorraine and Tom do not have any such means, and the water has come up to their necks. At that final turning point of life and death, Tom's genius mind throws a final dice. Shouting on the wireless, he tells Simon, present in the sewer, to increase the weight on the platform of that scale as much as possible. Without wasting a single second, Simon picks up those heavy empty cylinders of nitrogen gas and starts loading them onto the base of that scale. To bring the weight to the maximum limit, he himself goes and sits on top of those cylinders. On the other side, the remaining companions sitting at their hiding place are also joining hands, praying for the lives of their friends. And just then, an unbelievable miracle happens. Due to extreme weight falling on it, the mechanism of the scale locks completely, and that terrifying flow of water stops gradually. In the last few moments, Tom and Lorraine's lives are saved by a hair's breadth. As soon as the system becomes normal outside, the army soldiers and Gustavo enter inside by opening the door of the vault with heavy weapons. But as soon as they step there, everyone's senses are blown away. There is no human being or treasure there. There is only a completely empty vault. Gustavo is feeling so helpless for the first time in his entire life of service because he is simply not able to understand how those clever thieves vanished into thin air. After searching for some time, Gustavo finally gets this clue that those clever thieves escaped from there via the main water pipeline and the ventilation duct of the roof. Gustavo is fully confident that the thieves must still be around the boundary of the bank only, which is why he gives the order to his entire force to look for them in every single nook and corner. On the other side, Tom and Lorraine are once again crawling rapidly through that narrow ventilation path, advancing ahead. But now the crisis is that Klaus is not able to help them through the cameras because the soldiers have completely blocked all the exit gates of the bank. Just then, in this difficult hour, Lorraine suddenly remembers a secret path to escape present on the 3rd floor. Without wasting time, she gestures to Tom to come behind her. The guards have now reached very close to them. Both show agility and, running rapidly, enter the main cabin of the bank president. Gustavo thinks from the control room seeing this that now both of them are completely trapped and no way to escape is left. But as soon as the squad of security personnel enters inside by breaking the door of that cabin, the ground slips from beneath their feet seeing the view there. No one is present inside the room. Actually, when Lorraine had come to that cabin for the first time under the pretext of inspecting paintings, her observant eyes had noticed that the bank president often leaves a secret window open there to smoke cigarettes. Taking advantage of that same open window, both get out in time. As soon as Gustavo looks down towards the road from the window, his blood boils because he can clearly see Tom and Lorraine gradually disappearing into the crowd of millions present below. Becoming blind with anger, he immediately pulls out his gun and aims to fire at them. But at that exact time, a fellow officer catches his hand and stops him. Shaking Gustavo, he says, "Have you lost your mind? Look at how huge a crowd of general public is present below." After this, he immediately sends a message to the soldiers on the walkie-talkie to look for those two suspects wearing black clothes in that crowd and pull them out. But Tom and Lorraine are prepared for this situation beforehand. As soon as they step into the crowd in the blink of an eye, they strip off their black clothes and throw them away, starting to look like ordinary football fans. To hide their identity, both hug each other like a loving couple amidst the crowd. The soldiers fall for this trick of theirs and fail to recognize them, due to which finally the army has to accept defeat. Some time after this mission, Walter arrives in England to meet a high-profile woman named Margaret. Margaret and James are actually both highly clever secret agents of the British intelligence agency. Walter has come there with the intention of talking about the share of the treasure to be obtained from those 3 gold coins. But Margaret clearly refuses to give him any share in harsh words. James has brought those 3 coins safely to his country, and he has put a big professor there to work on finding out the secret coordinates of the treasure engraved on those coins. But James and his agency are completely unaware of the fact that Walter had suspected James's loyalty a long time ago. That is why, inside the bank itself, with the help of Lorraine, Walter had very cleverly changed those real gold coins and kept duplicate coins that looked identical in their place. The directions engraved on those fake coins are completely wrong and fraudulent. When James and Margaret realize this deception, their anger knows no bounds. On the other side, on a beautiful island located in the western part of France, Walter's entire team is celebrating this success. Meanwhile, Tom, with his extraordinary talent, has also obtained an official pilot license to fly airplanes. Just then, the clever Lorraine pulls out those 3 real gold coins from her pocket, and Tom enters the correct directions marked on them into the computer system to track the real location of the treasure. As soon as the real hiding place of the treasure comes up on the screen, all of them are left astonished because that treasure worth billions is buried inside one of the biggest central banks of England itself. That bank is also considered highly modern in terms of technology and equipped with the world's most advanced security system. Now another very big challenge has come up in front of these 4 companions. In the upcoming exciting story, we will see what new and amazing plan Tom prepares while making this most secure bank of England his next target.